All right, welcome to the Know-It-Alls Talk Ball podcast, hosted by two know-it-alls, myself, Juan, and
And Jason.
welcome to my house, to my couch
Yeah, it's
for our very first
great,
episode.
great setting. Yeah,
Yeah, we got the whole little scarf setup going on here.
yeah. So, little background: we are two journalism students, and we thought this would be a nice passion project between the two of us because we're both very sort of football orientated. So, on this podcast, we're going to talk about pretty much anything Premier League to start off with.
Yeah, and basically anything like football that we want to talk about
Because we know it all.
we know it all.
Exactly.
Like we know
Yeah.
everything about football there is to know. And also, we don't have biases. United fan. I'm a Manchester City fan, so
So that's going to work really
it's
well.
just perfect balance, really, between opinions. But really between like two teams that are like completely different, I would say. But like,
One's good and one's shit.
well, like I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I would definitely hint at that.
Yeah.
So what are we gonna do for our first episode, Jason?
So we're going to look at the big games for this weekend. We've got Spurs Arsenal and we've got City Manchester United.
Bigger game.
Doesn't get any bigger than that
Bigger.
for a first episode.
No, it
Yeah.
really doesn't. I mean,
Yeah.
it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. It's
perfect.
really good for us
Almost
to
as
talk
if
about.
We
Yeah.
timed it to
For
this
that.
date. So, yeah. What else is there really to know about us before we start? I mean, like, I'm from Argentina.
I'm Dutch New Zealand, so my footballing preference definitely goes towards the Dutch side because New Zealand doesn't really have anything to offer
you
in
have
that
Chris
sense.
Wood, man. I think you're
We have
selling
Chris
him short.
Wood, we have Winston Reid, had Winston Reid,
What
yeah.
He was an
Yeah.
Easter head at the back.
Yeah.
He's got the
Yeah.
face of a totem pole.
Yeah, and they did go unbeaten in the 2010 World Cup.
They did.
So
You guys did.
yeah, only unbeaten team in that World Cup.
What
so
did Argentina? Oh yeah, we lost 4-0 to Germany in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
weird to lose to Germany, huh? As if we don't do it every single
Yeah.
World Cup.
but yeah, should we just go straight into the?
Yeah, let's start with the game tomorrow, Saturday. Well, tomorrow for us. I guess God knows when this. I guess it should go up soon if we're gonna
Hopefully, yeah.
before the game, but like probably not. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see. But then
Exactly.
So let's go into North London Derby. First of all, like outside of statistics, predictions, and stuff, what team do you actually like more, just in general?
I think I dislike both of them. Let's start off. Let's preface
Okay,
with that.
yeah, okay.
I probably dislike Spurs more, just because they're just like the pinnacle of mediocrity, if you ask me. Like
Yeah.
they've never really won much unless you go back
No.
like 50 years or something like
I've
that.
never seen Spurs win it.
Yeah, and I've never really. I don't think anyone like grows up and they're like, I'm gonna watch Spurs or I'm gonna play for Spurs. You know, I
Not even
don't
fucking
think.
Harry Kane did.
No,
He
no,
was an
exactly.
Arsenal fan.
Yeah. So I think I like Arsenal more. They've got the whole Invincibles thing. Thierry Henry is an absolute legend, and they're just more exciting to watch most of the time.
I agree. I
Yeah.
think there's like a little soft spot. I mean, it kind of always switched for me, like between Arsenal and Spurs. Like I used to love Arsenal, like never supported them, but I always had a soft spot for them. Then Pochettino coached them, and then it was like the Argentina connection. He was like over exceeding. Then I had a soft spot for them. But yeah, I would say Arsenal probably.
Yeah,
I had to
yeah.
pick one. I'd pick Arsenal.
Yeah, it's just something about Arsenal. I think a lot of people will agree with that.
Yeah,
they're just,
I don't know. It's just like history. I
Yeah,
guess. And
history
Spurs
there,
have
yeah.
No history. Oh, I don't know
No,
if they do,
yeah.
but like.
I mean, you would know about
Well,
no
we would
history
know it
being a
'cause we're
City fan.
know-it-alls
Yeah.
as well. That's why I would know about it.
Yeah.
I know everything about Spurs.
But this season, Spurs and Arsenal both off to very, very strong starts.
Yeah, I was surprised with Arsenal, I have to say.
Really?
Yeah, I had Spurs, like, obviously we didn't do previews or predictions for the season, but like my own personal prediction, I have Spurs finishing second, and I still think they'll finish second behind City.
Okay.
Because I think that Conte is just such a good coach.
He is a class
I think,
manager,
like,
yeah.
is he better than Guardiola and Klopp? No, but he's very close. And I think he was way closer to them than Tuchel was, personally.
Yeah. I mean, he won the league with Chelsea, right?
He did, and
Yeah.
he won the league. He won, like, unbeaten with Juventus.
Yeah.
Over 100 points.
Yeah.
He won the league with Inter as well, not too long ago. Like, wherever he goes, he just wins.
He
the league.
wins. Yeah,
Like,
he's a winner.
the
Yeah.
golf and quality in teams, like I don't think that it would be reasonable for Conte in his first full season to expect a title like he did with Chelsea or like he did with Inter.
Oh no.
mostly
Yeah.
because of competition
When did he take over? Because he took over from Jose, right?
from Nuno.
Oh, he was only there
You
for a
remember
few.
that
He was only
debacle?
over a few games though, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
there for a couple months. Yeah,
Mm.
maybe.
Yeah.
At most, he was there halfway through the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. So I mean, I think if you pick up a project like Spurs, you're gonna need time, and
yeah.
yeah. But like I said, I'm not super interested in watching Tottenham. I don't find them. Human Son is amazing to watch.
He's fun.
Yeah.
But I think he's been a bit off this year. Like, he did score a hat trick last game, but, like,
It's a bloody good hat trick too.
it was a good hat trick.
Yeah.
I mean, the two of the goals were insane. But
Mm.
then, has he been better than Kulusevski? I don't think so. I think Kulusevski next to Harry Kane's probably been their best attacking player, if not the best player that Spurs has had. Also, like, props to Eric Dyer. He's been ridiculous. The middle of the back there, he's been insane. And Højbjerg has also been really good. But they're, like you said, like, they're just not really impressive to watch.
No, and I was looking at their actually sort of their expected goals,
Right.
stuff like that. They're the only reason that they've scored enough goals to beat their opposition so far is because Harry Kane has been so fucking clinical.
Yeah.
He's like I think I've got it written down somewhere here.
He must be overperforming. the
He
stats.
is. It was where is it? So he's got 0.69 expected goals, but he's got a conversion rate of 0.87. Oh, sorry, no, that's the team. No, that is Harry Kane. Yeah, so
Wow.
he's well above that, and the team as well. They're creating chances, but they've done a good job of putting away those chances. So if you have a bad day and you can't put away those chances, it's going to be tough. Whereas,
Yeah, I mean, like, I think, I don't know if you watched a Chelsea game against Spurs like a couple weeks ago already, the 2-2. That was the most fraud 2-2 I've ever seen in my life. Like, Spurs did nothing.
no,
except have
yeah.
two chances
Chelsea
to
had a
finish.
lot of the
Chelsea played
game.
way better.
Yeah,
And they were just unlucky. And I think that's what's difficult about judging the Spurs side is that they're still unbeaten, which is crazy. I think they're just very hard to beat. Like, they're not very good. Like, well, they are good, but they just, I guess they don't really, like, I don't know, like, excite you when you watch them play.
No,
But they're hard to
no.
beat.
yeah,
They're hard to
that's
beat.
true. Yeah, but prediction time.
Prediction.
What are you thinking?
I mean, let's talk about Arsenal first for a bit.
Oh yeah, we've all, how have we talked about Spurs for 7 minutes?
I think it's the most anyone's ever talked about Spurs.
Yeah, but Arsenal. I mean, obviously they've had the one loss to Man United.
Yeah.
Um,
Arguably played better than United.
Oh, they did.
They
They were way better. Yeah, I can sit here and tell you they were better. But you know, I think their front line is performing so well. You got Saka, who is provider, finisher,
So good.
chance creator. Odegaard, who can create chances like
Such a great signing,
nothing.
by the way.
And then Gabby Jesus, who you know all about.
Yeah, I think I'm so glad he went to Arsenal. Honestly, like when we sold him this summer, I was sad to see him go because he scored a lot of like quite important goals. I just think that Pep never really gave him time. Like I think I'm not saying that he would be anywhere near the level of impact that Haaland is having at City. But if Pep would have given him consistent game time the same way that he does with Haaland, where he starts him every single game, then I think we would have seen his production. Because
Yeah.
I think Arteta is like, you're a great like creator, dribbler, goal scorer. I'm gonna make you the focal point of my attack.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think it's like he's paid like how much did they pay for him? Like 35 million? That is nothing.
It's an absolute bargain if you look at the other signings that have gone on this year.
That is
Yeah.
nothing. 35 million. Like, didn't Forrest spend like 45 on some kid from Wolves that like is escaping? Like his name is escaping my head. I don't even fucking know
Nottingham
who he is.
Forest.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they bought some kid for like bunch of money and nobody knows.
Yeah.
Like, so,
Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
but I'm definitely surprised that they like. I mean, surprise is a strange way to say it because they have been very good. They have really played very good football. But they haven't really played anybody outside of United, and they lost that.
And they lost the game. Yeah. Yeah. I think. Yeah. I mean, if you looked at the end of last season, they were definitely putting it together a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And then obviously the introduction of Gabby Jesus there as well, and he scored some incredible goals. I can't remember who it was against, where he just sort of picked it out from. It was like right at his feet. You're thinking he can't shoot from there. I think it was like on the left hand side of the box, and he just killed it top bins, and it was like,
he's class,
yeah.
man. But also, I think a player that's really impressed me is William Saliba at the back line.
Yeah.
He has been like the whole circus basically that was Saliba, like coming to Arsenal. We don't really we like him, but he's a bit of an asshole or something. There were like so many issues and stuff, and then he was loaned out twice to France. He was really good in France. Now he comes back and he looks like one of the best center backs in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's been really good.
I think that he started for France this last international break. I'd be surprised if he doesn't go, especially like France likes to play 3 at the back. I think he's gonna go and probably start because he's so good. Him and Gabriel at the back have been really impressive.
Yeah.
But if you had to say your key player to watch this game for each side,
I think for Spurs, it's gonna be Harry Kane. Just because he does also so much more than just scoring goals. His passing has come so far.
Insane.
He's able to whip the ball across the field and do all kinds of things, especially if Son's going to be there as well.
I think he's starting,
Yeah, so, I mean, they're always deadly when they're together,
Yeah.
and I think that a lot of that has to do with Harry Kane.
Yeah.
For Arsenal, I think there's generally a lot of talk about Odegaard always being whether he can create, then they will do well.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go Odegaard and Harry Kane. Yeah.
I think to mention other names, I think I'm gonna go with Højbjerg. I think he's been really good at the start of the season, and I think that if he can control the midfield, I'm assuming Bentancur is going to play next to him again because he usually plays. Even though Bissouma, they signed him from Brighton, and he hasn't really had a sniff at the team, but he's also very good. But I would say Højbjerg, like considering the form that Xhaka's in, he's playing really well.
Yeah.
And Thomas Partey is doubtful for the game, so I think if he can control the midfield, that could, especially like I'm assuming Spurs are going to sit back and let Arsenal have the ball and try to get them on the counter. Which I think that's what's scary for Arsenal, is that they probably have to play Ben White at right back again, and he's been very good. Like don't get me wrong, he's been very serviceable, and I think what's good is that he drops back into the 3 when they're in attack, and Zinchenko can just go forward, and that's what he's best at. But I'm scared of Heung-min Son against Ben White. Like that. That is like Ben White is not. It's not that he's physically inept, because he's not, but like he's nowhere near the speed that.
He's a wee bit clumsy when you compare him to someone like Heung-min Son.
Yeah, I'm just scared that they're gonna get caught out somehow, and I don't know. It's just I think Ben White's gonna have a great game, and so will the center backs to stop Harry Kane.
Yeah.
But then, prediction time.
Is it at the Emirates?
It's at the Emirates. I mean, last season the results, it was 3-1 at the Emirates, and then I want to say, let's see, I had it over here. It was 3-1 at the Emirates, and it was, I think, like 3-0 at Spurs with Conte. And the first 3-1 at the Emirates was without Conte.
Yeah, I think I would go 2-1 Arsenal win.
2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah.
I mean, the stats kind of back that. No away team has won this fixture since 2014. That's ridiculous.
That's a long time. I guess
stat.
home advantage really
plays
in the
a part.
derbies especially. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go 2-2. I think Spurs are going to keep the unbeaten streak.
I would like to see a 2-2. It's a good scoreline. Yeah.
I mean, for City and for
everyone in the top 4 really. Yeah.
I think we're going to see Arsenal have a similar game to the one at United, where they look so much better than the result, but Spurs are just going to hit them with 2, like maybe a Heung-min Son wonder goal and some bullshit Christian Romero corner. Something like that, you know.
Yeah, something, and hopefully Granit Xhaka keeps his head and will stay on the pitch.
I mean, the derby always is spicy. I think it's one of my favorite Premier League games.
Oh, it's
this
good.
Derby's always produces good games.
It does have,
Always.
It's always got some fire in it.
So I think it should be a fun game. Like, we'll see what happens. Either way, like 2-2, and if my prediction stands, like, then Arsenal will still be top of the league. I mean, that's also what's important, right? It's first versus third. Whoever wins goes top.
Yeah.
Depending on the result of City, of course. Well, if Arsenal win, they're top regardless.
I mean, City. Well, we'll get into City just now.
City a bit, but It's a huge game. Like I think it's been a while, or at least a while since I remember a North London derby actually having like top, like not just top four,
Having
like
importance.
Premier League significance.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because I think if Arsenal win, then it's kind of like you're kind of starting to cement your case. Like,
Would have been
oh,
the
maybe
year
they-
when Leicester won.
Yeah.
Then it had significance
when
as well.
Arsenal and
Yeah.
Spurs were like right there
Yeah.
fighting behind Leicester, right? So I think it's going to be a fun game. It should be a good game. I like it's a 1:30 p.m. kickoff, so it's great. Like that means I can put off doing stuff because I so it should be good.
Yeah. All right, now the big one.
The big one.
City, Man United, and this is at the Etihad.
At the Etihad.
Yeah.
5:30 on Sunday. Big
Yeah.
game, huh?
Big game. Yeah. This is.
The
I think
battle of
this
the
is.
Whose bald head is shinier?
Yeah, I mean, I think this means a lot for Man United now, and
Yeah.
I think sort of sure we beat Arsenal, but we weren't good. You know, I mean we were better obviously than we had been, but I think this game here we need to. You know, just make sure that it's because I don't think we're gonna win. Like I can tell you that right now. No, I don't think so. And I think it's it might even come down to damage limitation. And I don't think I think Man United we've made a recovery.
Yeah.
But if you look,
from the start of the season for sure, yeah.
If you look at the games that we've won, it hasn't been sparkling. It hasn't been something that's gonna challenge City. You know.
No. I would say the Liverpool game was your most impressive
Was
game,
definitely
by
really good,
far.
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Liverpool out of form, whatever, but very impressive victory.
It's very good, yeah.
Very good victory. I think, like, this is the first Manchester derby. Like, I'm always excited, but I think for the last 2 seasons, I've never been nervous for this game, like, at all, because
you
we're
just
not
know.
playing for the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, you always want to win the derby, and we always lost to Ole for some reason. Like, City, I think, had, like, a terrible record
Pep had a
against
bad
Solskjaer.
one against
Yeah.
Solskjaer, yeah.
But then I think that this one's also interesting. Like, you have 2 coaches that, if I'm not wrong, they coach together. They worked together for Bayern's when Pep was there.
I did
Ten
not know
Hag
that.
Was his assistant,
Mm.
or maybe the reserves coach. So they
Yeah.
work together. Ten Hag's obviously a Pep Guardiola ball kind of guy. Like, that's the type of football he
Yeah, you
wants to
can see it,
implement.
yeah.
So I think it's going to be a super good game. Like, I hope it's a really good game. I think last season, what were the scores? It was like 4-1 at City when all the fans started, like, they turned their backs into the post stand and they were, like, dancing. And then 2-0 at Old Trafford.
Wait, 2-0 for City, yeah,
against
yeah.
Rangnick's, United.
Yeah, that was the such a dead game. It was just...
Whereas I think Bernardo scored one and
Yeah,
Liverpool scored the other.
yeah.
It was like nothing impressive really.
Yeah.
But I think it should be interesting. Like, of course, like City now have that animal that is Erling Braut Haaland. He's an absolute menace.
Can't really talk about City without talking about Erling Haaland.
The best player in the
first.
world, I would say.
I mean, you have trouble arguing that, right? I mean, what's he got? He's got 11 and 6 in the Prem, and then
He has half our Premier League goals.
Yeah.
We have 22. He scored 11.
and he's got he's got 2 or 3 in the Champions League as well.
3.
He's got 3 in the Champions League.
The first game and then a third one against Dortmund, the winner.
What I don't understand is how people had doubts about him in the first place. You had people that were coming forward and saying, "Oh, I don't know if he can do it in the Prem." He is an absolute machine. Like there
was no point like. I think the fear is always like, oh, the Pep Guardiola system. You know, players take a year. Like Mahrez took a year. Grealish is taking more than a year.
No.
But Haaland is different.
He is genuinely built different. Like
he's built to score goals.
If you look at some of the goals that he scored, I'm always reminded of this one against, I think it was Palace, and I think the cross comes in from Foden on the left, and the minute it leaves his foot, Haaland is locked onto it. He knows that it's hitting for him.
The header, right?
Yeah, the header. And he gets his arms out like this because he is a big dude, you know? So he gets his arms out like that. He knows at that point the defender's gone. It's over. It's over. Yeah. The ball might as well be in the back of the net already.
Yeah. I mean, the one he scored against Dortmund in the Champions League. Like, I know it's moving away, but how did he put his leg up there?
I don't know.
What the?
And I mean, that goal is just so... picturesque. Like the cross from Cancelo, the finish. And then I keep seeing stuff on social media like, oh, the only thing Haaland can do is shoot and score goals, and I'm like,
Yeah,
that's all he has to do. He's a bloody striker.
And also, like, oh, who cares? Like, I genuinely don't give a shit if he takes 4 touches in a game if he scores a hat trick.
Yeah.
Because he scored 3 goals. Like, you don't win football if your striker has 50 touches and 0 shots.
Yeah.
You win football if your striker scores a goal.
Yeah.
Like, you win by scoring. That's the best way.
Yeah.
That's the only way to win.
And
score.
the best striker in the world is the one that scores the most goals.
Scores the most
Yeah,
goals. Like,
it's that simple.
I think he is so good. But it is, we do have to say, United's defense, very good. Lisandro Martinez, last time he played against Haaland in the Champions League, Ajax Dortmund, 4-0 for Ajax, pocketed Haaland. Can he do it in a cold, rainy night in Manchester?
I don't know. And you're coming up against someone who is, I mean, they can't put Martinez on Haaland. They just can't do it. Like, how are you going to justify putting that behemoth of a man against, what is he, like 4'6"? Like,
He's about the size of Haaland's legs.
He's about my height. He's a small guy, so I can't see that we're gonna.
He's good.
He is good, and I love his work ethic. I love the way he gets after the ball. I think he was the one who gave away the penalty against Sociedad, which was
bullshit.
Bollocks.
Bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know how that stood. But yeah, other than that, he's been really good.
He's class.
Someone else who I want to highlight in the Man United team, Tyrell Malacia.
Oh,
He's been really, really good. He is switched on like that, straight into the Premier League at that age as well.
I mean, he took out England's #1 left back from, what was it, the Euros and the World Cup, where England made it far. He took him out of the squad. Like, he just put Luke Shaw out of a job, basically. Like, Luke Shaw, where's Luke Shaw at the United
Wait.
team?
Oh yeah. I was like, he's not English. No. Yeah.
United.
Yeah, and that's weird. I mean, and then Gareth Southgate calls up Luke Shaw, but that's a whole that's another
World Cup
story.
episodes will come.
But I think he's been so good, and I love his work ethic as well. Which is a problem with other Man United signings that I've seen is that their work ethic isn't there. But Malacia, he's so switched on.
Yeah.
He shut Salah down for a majority of the game against Liverpool, and that is not an easy thing to do.
No, and I think against Arsenal, like, he had a couple of moments where it was a bit iffy, but I think the whole team was a bit iffy at times. Like, Saka had him, like, he sent him out for a hot dog and a half.
At one point, he absolutely sent him. But other than that, I think he's been really good. I think there's one thing that is an absolute certainty. If Maguire starts, it is all over. Like,
there's no way Maguire.
There's no way. Especially if Ten Hag was watching the game against Germany, there's no way he starts.
He had a good first half.
Yeah, but football games aren't 45 minutes long.
No.
So, did you watched the game, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just find it so funny. If you haven't watched the game, let me just describe it for you. So, Maguire gives the ball straight to Musiala.
Yeah.
And then Musiala pretty much doesn't do anything special, just runs straight at him. Somehow the ball goes through Maguire's legs. And then man just sticks out a leg and kicks him. And then tries to play it off. I don't know how the ref didn't give the penalty straight away, but it went to VAR. And it was a stonewall pen. It was like he just grabs a foot out, and it was. If that buffoon starts against
Haaland, Haaland's scoring 6 if Maguire starts. Like, he's scoring 6. It doesn't matter who's playing.
I think there's no doubt.
But I think it's going to be Varane and Malacia.
I think
Malacia, Martinez, and Dalot, who else?
I think Dalot. Yeah, he has been solid as well. Yeah.
For me, the key to this game is going to be the midfield, because I think that we haven't really seen much from Casemiro, but at the same time, why should he start? Yes, of course, he's Casemiro, 5-time Champions League winner, like one of the best defensive midfielders of our generation. But McTominay has not been bad.
McTominay has been,
he's been performing.
He has, I think if you have Maguire at the back, it gives McTominay so much less confidence to go because he loves going in for a challenge. You know. But if he misses that, and you've only got Maguire there to stop them,
Yeah, that's true.
I think that's a problem. Like you get confidence from the players that are behind you,
Yeah.
just like the
And if you
defenders
don't
will
trust the
get.
back line,
Yeah,
like-
just like defenders will get confident if they've got a great goalkeeper in the goal.
Yeah.
You know. So I think McTominay in the 4 games after Maguire got benched was really, really solid.
Yeah, and Eriksen in the double pivot has been very impressive.
There's been a lot of talk about how good Eriksen has been.
He was Super Player of the Month in September.
Yeah.
I mean, you played like 2 games, but still,
Yeah.
he's been very good.
And Denmark, I think he had a really good performance.
Yeah,
I
against
didn't
France,
watch it,
right.
but I saw some stats and stuff. The man
He's so
controlled.
good.
Yeah,
He's so good.
yeah.
But I think that's gonna be the key because obviously City's midfield is ridiculous.
Is second to none.
Rodri, De Bruyne, and if Bernardo starts or Gundogan
He's
starts,
still got Gundogan as well.
it doesn't really matter because
Yeah.
they're both elite level players. I think if United can kind of control that midfield, then we could see a tighter game than expected. But I'm still going for City.
Yeah.
I think City 3-1.
I think that's a fair estimate. I think I'd probably go the same.
But I think I think it's going to be a closer game than the scoreline suggests. I think United are going to create chances.
Oh, what do you think? Is Ronaldo starting, you reckon?
Well, not Sancho. Rashford and Martial are injured, right? Or they're doubtful for the game.
Yeah.
Stones is also not starting, and he's been our best center back. But Laporte is coming back this week, so he's going to start.
Yeah.
Or Akanji. Akanji's also been class since he joined, to be fair. I think very under the radar signing who has been so good.
Yeah, I didn't even realize
Well, we
until
signed
he
him, it was towards the end of the summer window, and I was like, yeah, okay, great. Another center back, more depth. He's also quite physical. He can probably do a job at right back, but he's been so good. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts with Ruben Diaz again, because those two have been starting almost every game with John Stones at right back. But then Kyle Walker is back for this weekend as well, so that would have helped.
Yeah.
But I think City 3-1. I think especially if the two teams are similar in the sense that the way they like to play and stuff. I think you pick the team that's been playing like that for since 2016, right?
Yeah.
The team that knows how to win titles and stuff. I would pick that team.
Yeah. I think I agree with that. I think I'd probably go I think I'm going to go 3-0 City.
3-0.
Yeah,
You don't even think you'll score?
I don't have a lot of faith.
Really?
Yeah.
Even a Ronaldo tap in, and even it's like 3-0
Mate,
City, he scores a tap in, he still does a you know?
Is he even capable of tapping nowadays? It's hard to say.
I don't know. Scored a pretty nice penalty against Sheriff.
Yeah.
Rate him for that.
But something funny I saw today was a combined United City starting 11. It's all City players. Whole thing was City players. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't put a single United player.
I'm really trying to think.
On class, you would put Casemiro in there, but not on form.
No, but,
that's
true.
Yeah,
that's true.
And maybe Varane would make it in his whole career.
Varane as well.
Oh, and obviously Ronaldo. If you're looking at his whole career, yeah.
Would you pick him over Haaland though?
Well,
I'm kidding.
now?
All time, of course.
Oh, all time,
Haaland's
yeah,
got a
yeah.
long way to go.
But I mean, if you look at
why wouldn't you pick it?
No.
I think the only other striker you pick is maybe. Harry Kane and Lewandowski, maybe.
Yeah, they're the only ones that are getting close.
Benzema's
Yeah.
injured, so.
Yeah.
So I think 3-1 City.
I'm gonna.
Good win in the derby.
I'm going 3-0.
No faith.
Yeah, no
in
faith.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Oh yeah, we signed Anthony as well. I forgot about that.
like 100 million. You forgot?
Yeah. So. Shall we move on to some of the other predictions for?
Yeah, these will just kind of.
We're just gonna skim over these
quickly, just some quick Premier League predictions. Of course, we're gonna have our end of the season table. Right now, we predicted the same winners. So I guess
there's only one winner
this season.
Really. Yeah.
The listeners, the only winners.
Okay, so
first game, Liverpool-Brighton. First game in charge for Brighton's new manager,
who have they?
De Zerbi from Sassuolo. Very much a Brighton manager, I have to say.
I think they've made a smart.
Sassuolo.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart.
Smart move.
Signing.
But I can see you've gone for
I went
a bit
Liverpool
of.
4 now.
Wow. Yeah.
I think that he's gonna struggle his first game.
Yeah.
It's at Anfield. Liverpool have not been.
I mean, it doesn't get much tougher than that for your first game as a manager to go to Anfield.
To be fair, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but if Liverpool lose this game, then # Klopp out.
Yeah, but you can't. If that happens,
Seven
that's
season syndrome, bro. It's a real
yeah,
thing for this man.
yeah. Oh, I've gone 2-1 to
2-1,
Liverpool.
okay.
I mean, Brighton, they still look. Potter's obviously built a good team there.
Yeah.
What are they sitting fourth?
Fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a close run thing.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be 4-0. I think they're gonna spank them.
All right. Okay.
Southampton Everton. What a game.
Yeah. So you've gone. What have you got there?
I've gone Southampton 2-0. I think Everton are playing better than they started, and will they get relegated? I predicted that they would, so I'm gonna say yes. I think they're still absolute dog shit, if I'm honest. I don't really
they're not
back them
good,
at all.
no.
And Southampton's playing better than they were than previous years.
I think
So-
Everton, the best player is Pickford.
Oh,
like
yeah,
without
he's
a
been-
doubt.
He's been,
He's been
this
so
year,
good,
huh?
yeah.
Really good player.
I've gone 1-1. I think it's going to be a pretty boring game. Yeah, both teams sort of in that similar sort of league. So I think...
they're like 12 to 17
Yeah,
kind of teams.
exactly, yeah.
So nothing exciting. Fulham, Newcastle. Apparently Fulham, I read today, Fulham have never beaten a Premier League side more than Newcastle.
Wow. I mean...
Pull that one out of my ass.
I mean, they haven't won a whole lot of games, right? Like,
They just won the most.
yeah, the last few seasons they've been up and down.
What you got?
I've got 1-0 Newcastle.
No.
I mean, Newcastle, they've got potential to do really, really well this season. You know?
Isak's look good. Isak
Yeah.
looks good.
Did he score against Liverpool?
He scored.
Oh, who was
he
it
scored
against?
twice, and the second goal got taken off. But the
Yeah.
second goal was ridiculous.
Yeah.
He got the ball on a run, cut on Van Dijk, top corner from the left to the right. Beautiful.
It was, yeah. He looks like a class player.
I was surprised that he went to Newcastle, but I'm glad he did. I think.
I
That's
mean, the money's
as
there
far as
now,
the
right?
money's-
Give it 3-4 years, they might be challenging.
Top
They
four.
might be, they might be the city's next challengers.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because they're the richest club, I think, in
I mean,
the
it
league.
would be interesting with Eddie Howe. Like, I don't think they should fire him at all because he's done
Great.
He's done great, but
Yeah.
that's a question for another time. Maybe a whole topic in itself. But with Eddie Howe, can he push this team to what they aspire to be like next year and even this year? Like, what's Newcastle's aspiration to finish 7th, maybe top 7?
I reckon they've got to be pushing for either conference league. Yeah,
League,
I think
right?
so.
Especially with like the teams that you'd expect to be there, like West Ham, Leicester, struggling so much.
I mean, yeah,
year,
yeah.
right?
We'll get into that another time, but yeah.
I've gone 1-1. I think Fulham's record against Newcastle, as I said, is impeccable.
Yeah.
And Fulham's not been bad. They're 6th in the Premier League, surprisingly.
Mitrovic is
on fire.
he's a Ballon d'Or contender right now.
I mean, the most informed striker after Erling Haaland in the Premier League.
Exactly,
So, like,
yeah.
He's on 6 goals.
Is he 6 goals? Same as
Yeah.
Harry Kane. I
Same as
mean,
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about Harry Kane, so
Yeah.
Mitro, get in there.
Why not?
Then we got Palace Chelsea.
Yeah. Obviously, Chelsea, rough start to the season, and
Yeah.
we got to touch on the Tuchel firing
What
now.
was that? What was
The
that?
most obscene firing
It
in,
made
in
no
football history, I
It
think.
made no sense.
It is. What are we, 6 games into the season? 7.
Yeah, and you just backed him with like
Yeah.
they just spent so much money.
Yeah.
Like, they bought so many players.
Yeah.
Supposedly to fit the Tuchel system, which at the same time, like, some of the signings make no sense. Like, why are you signing Cucurella when you have Ben Chilwell, who's better?
Also, Koulibaly, I thought, was a bit of an iffy signing.
Yeah. I think he comes with pedigree, so it helps. I think Sterling
Yeah.
was a good signing. He adds goals to a team that
Yeah,
needs them.
yeah.
But I think Potter's first league game, I'm going 1-0 Chelsea. I think it's going to be a nervy game. I think
Yeah.
this team is not going to be... Is Potter a great coach? Yes, 100%. I believe it. Is Potter the coach to take Chelsea to the height that Tuchel took them? I think only time will tell.
Yeah.
Because we don't know. We don't know what he's
Yeah.
like at a big job, right?
Yeah,
But-
exactly. You've got managers like Moyes.
Yeah.
Did great at Everton. Has done well at West
West
Ham
Ham.
as well. Remains to be seen about this season, but. And then you chuck him in the Man United job, and look what happened. It's like obviously there was a very hard transition period for him, but not all managers are suited to those big money big transfer value
I
sort
mean,
of jobs.
Pochettino had the same, right? Like
Yeah.
at Spurs, like of course you have a big budget, like way more than most teams, and you have a good squad. But he went to PSG,
Yeah.
did nothing.
Yeah.
Did nothing.
Yeah. But back to the Tuchel. I think I saw a sort of stat on him. So he won Champions League, Super Cup,
Yeah.
and finished third, in my opinion, behind the two best Premier League teams that we've ever seen.
Yeah.
No complaints. And then he gets fired 6 games in to the next season because they've lost a few. They lost to
Zagreb.
Leeds. They lost to Zagreb, and then was that it, or did they lose one more? No, they lost to.
Did they lose? They definitely lost another.
I think they lost one other game.
Yeah.
And then he's gone. He got, I think, 8 days more in the job than Frank Lampard.
Oh my god.
And he won a Champions League and a Super Cup. I mean, that is...
And the Club World Cup too.
Yeah. How can you
Yeah.
justify
And I
that?
think he's made every single final except the Champions League.
Yeah.
He made the League Cup final, the FA Cup final twice. Yeah, he lost all those finals, fair enough. But he's still
Still,
making it.
yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
He's putting your team one game away from winning.
Yeah.
Like
I
a
mean,
trophy.
yeah, it's obscene.
But yeah, 1-0 Chelsea. I think
Yeah.
that they're actually not going to be very good this weekend. But I think that they'll find a way to win.
I've got 2-0 Chelsea, so I think we're both sort of agreeing on that.
Bournemouth, Brentford.
Bournemouth, Brentford. Bournemouth are just, they're going to go down.
I think so.
I think they're kind of like Norwich. I mean,
They look better now that Scott Parker left, which I also thought was super harsh. Like,
Yeah.
he played City. He had to coach against City, against Liverpool. Like, yeah, you lose 9-0, but like, come on.
Yeah.
Give the man a bit more time on the job.
exactly. I think that was very rough as well.
But I'm going Brentford 2-1.
We've got the same for that one, 2-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got West Ham Wolves.
Yeah. Obviously West Ham struggling, but I think I give them a way better chance of recovering than I do Leicester.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I think
Leicester are in shambles. Like
they're struggling. Yeah,
I think
and you could see it coming with Leicester as well.
From last season already,
yeah.
you could see that it was starting to come down, and somehow, I'm not saying that they need to sell everybody, like burn the ship and start again, but like when Newcastle's bidding 60, I think it was they bid 60 for James Madison, I would sell him. Like yes,
Yeah.
he's probably your best player, but
Well, how much did they get for Fofana?
Like 80 something.
That's good.
Yeah.
Like that's.
But all they like to do is go sign Southampton players. Like they beat them 9-0 and then they go sign Vestergaard.
Yeah.
The defender when you beat them 9-0. What type of scouting is this?
Yeah.
Please.
Well, I think
make it make sense.
I think I looked at it yesterday. We're on the. Should we do the West Ham prediction and then we'll talk about Leicester a little bit more when we get to the Leicester game? But yeah, I've got West Ham 1-0.
I got West Ham 2-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, both teams struggle to score.
Yeah.
So I reckon it's going to be low scoring.
Yeah.
And yeah, I reckon West Ham should hopefully win this one.
I hope they pick it
I
up.
do
I
like
like the
West
club.
Ham.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me
I do
too.
like
Me
West
too.
Ham. Yeah.
Leeds Villa.
Leeds Villa. Yeah. Villa also off to a bit of a shaky start, huh?
Yeah, Steven Gerrard.
Yeah, he's. They've been talk a little bit of talk about him. Maybe.
Getting the boot.
Yeah.
He has spent quite a bit of money since joining Villa.
Yeah.
Not
Who's
exactly
he?
Sure how
Who's he
much.
bought? By Cornet as well.
Bailey, I don't
Cornet
think he
is.
bought. Bailey, I don't think he bought.
Oh, okay.
Because Bailey was with Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
No.
Cornet is a West Ham player.
Where he signed Kamara from
Yeah.
Marseille, I want to say. A very good midfielder. He signed Diego Carlos, who's injured, unfortunately. The centre back from Sevilla.
It's a good
Coutinho
signing.
as well, he signed.
Yeah.
And they have all the Watkins. Like, they have a nice team. They just can't seem to put it together. And Leeds, on the other hand, don't have that much of a talented team, to be honest. Like, they have a couple.
They
of
haven't made a
players.
lot of signings.
I think that they've been pretty good, like way better than I thought. I
Beat
have
Chelsea.
them winning 3-0 this game. I think I put 2. I'm changing it to 3.
Yeah, I've got 2-1.
Leeds.
2-1 Leeds. Yeah, they're actually both teams that I like to watch. I find Villa quite exciting to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bailly is fit at the moment. He struggles.
I don't know. He
Yeah,
always struggles with it,
but
so.
he is fantastic to watch.
Yeah, he's fun.
Coutinho, obviously a great player to
great
watch. By the way, was it against? Had Villa played City yet?
No, that was last season when we won 3-2.
Because who did
we
they?
did play against Villa. We drew.
Yeah,
1-1.
yeah, because you guys should have lost that game because there was a goal disallowed,
Yeah.
which was an absolute banger, and it
Yeah.
didn't touch the Villa player's foot, so Coutinho was actually onside.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got 2-1 leads there. Yeah, I don't.
And then Leicester Forest.
Yeah,
So we were talking a bit about Leicester and what a mess they are.
yeah. I mean, you could see it coming last season. They conceded more goals from set pieces than any other team. And the defense is just a shambles. I think they've conceded. I've got something written.
I think is James Justin even starting for Leicester? Is he injured?
I mean, they've got like Johnny Evans, and that's the problem. They haven't reinvested.
No.
I think they spent 17 million.
I mean, they were like the last team to make a signing, right?
Yeah.
And they've also lost Schmeichel this year. They
Yeah.
lost Fofana.
Ward is not cutting it.
No,
They're
Ward is-
yet to have a clean sheet. 22 goals conceded. Last season they conceded
They
the most
conceded
goals.
22 this year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
Already?
22 this year.
Wow.
Yeah. And because scoring, they're actually okay at. And I
Yeah.
mean, they should be. They have a decent front line.
Yeah.
Ian Nacho is good. Madison
Vardy
is
somehow
obviously
always scored
great.
15 goals.
Yeah, he can still do the work. The only signing that they've had is, I think his name is Faes, Faes. He's a defender, so that's good. But you can't cut it in the Premier League by signing a 17 million pound defender.
Where did they sign him from?
I have no idea.
I don't even think his mom knows that.
I don't know. So yeah, I think they're in serious risk of going down this year. I thought
That would be ridiculous.
be a
But
traumatic fall from grace.
I think so too. I have Forest winning 2-0. Brendan Rodgers gets a boot this week.
Yeah, I've got
On
it.
Monday. They play Monday night.
Yeah, I've got
Then
it 2-2.
Tuesday, Rodgers looking for a new job.
I've got it 2-2. I think firing Rodgers would be a mistake for Leicester.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think the problem with that club is not him. Because he brought them to such great heights. He won the FA Cup with them 2 seasons ago, and now they're
they went from winning the league to back to very mid-table club
Yeah.
to winning the FA Cup.
Yeah.
And challenging top 4.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
year they won the
Yeah,
FA Cup.
yeah. So yeah, I think it remains. I think the relegation battle this year is going to be very, very spicy. Yeah,
It's gonna be spicy.
yeah. But yeah, that's all the predictions.
That's all the predictions we have. Well,
We've gone over time already.
we've gone over time,
Yeah.
so I think we're gonna just close this episode here.
Yeah.
Except, well, Jason has just one thing to say. We're not gonna talk about it at all. You can just say it.
What am my hot take?
Your hot take.
And then we can bring it up in the next episode.
And then we bring it
Yeah,
up
get in there on the comments, guys.
down below. Don't forget to subscribe.
Okay, here it is. Zinedine Zidane is one of the most overrated players ever. All right? If
World
anyone,
Cup winning.
yeah, if anyone does,
League final scorer.
sorry, as a football player, as a manager, I think he's underrated.
Okay.
But as a player, I think he's massively overrated. If anyone does watch this, let's get some discussion going in the comments.
Well, there you have it.
Yeah.
Zidane sucks. That's in the words of Jason. Zidane is worse.
Hey, and we know it all. So,
And we know it all.
but
so
I don't know if you're joining me on this take or not.
I mean, like, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll
All
see
right,
what-
but we'll leave that
leave
for
it at
next
that.
episode, and hopefully we will see you guys here next time.
See ya.
Peace.